porn-induced erectile dysfunction. I suffered quite a bit until I gave up porn. I remember I had this girlfriend, the hot Russian model, and we were both young. And I would rather watch porn than be with her. But also, when we did consume our relationship, when we did have sex, I could not keep it up. I could barely get it up to begin with. I was always more into porn than I was into having sex with her. And that's horrible. And I did not think it was possible until I grew up and I heard men sharing their suffering. Porn has unlimited variety when you think about it. And it's objectification of women to the highest extent. When you're with one woman, there's only so many things you can do. Yes, you can cosplay, you can role play, and that's all good and well. But it's nothing compared to the variety you can have online. And she's just one woman. How many women can you visualize when you are on a porn website? Countless. You could go on and on watching porn and have as much variety as you can. But the thing with porn is the more you watch porn, the more desensitized you are, which means you will build tolerance and need more intensity and variety to get the same erection, pleasure, high. Over time, that high will decrease because you are desensitized. But what it will do for your relationship, for sex with normal woman in real life, it will destroy your erections altogether. And I suffer a lot from this. Now, don't get me wrong. There is a type of erectile dysfunction that comes with age because maybe you are not dieting properly. You have things in the water. What's that molecule that's in the water that we should all avoid? Or in plastic? Anyway, there's things in our environment that are lowering our testosterone. But if you're on the right diet, if you take the proper supplementation, work out, you can really have a good level of testosterone. Every man. And some, of course, there's some exception, but you can have things like TRT, which I do not recommend, but some people just have such low testosterone, they have no other choice than be on TRT. And you also have this erectile dysfunction, which I used to have, which sometimes I might have as well, is performance anxiety. And that's completely different from porn-induced erectile dysfunction. But that's a subject for another video. I'm not saying if you let go of porn, you might never have erectile dysfunction. You might still have erectile dysfunction for other reasons. But the main culprit, if you do watch porn, is definitely porn. Because you objectify women, you desensitize yourself, and you will be harder and harder for you to keep an erection and even to get an erection. Or you might have delayed ejaculation, which I have not suffered from. I'm more in the erectile dysfunction camp. It's horrible. It's not only horrible for you, it's horrible for the other person. If you start desexualizing your mind and doing stuff like meditation, mindfulness, and lowering your gaze, if you do things like meditation where you focus on an object, you focus on the rising and falling of your stomach, do this every day for 10 minutes. Close your eyes, breathe in, breathe out, follow the movement of your belly, rising, falling. And whenever you have thoughts, you acknowledge the thoughts, you acknowledge the itchiness you might have in your body, you acknowledge the hunger, whatever is happening in your mind, and go back to your breath, rising, falling. It might be hard at the beginning, but the more you do it, the better you'll get it. Breath work is breathing in and breathing out. Or you can just be breathing in and breathing out and not focus on anything as long as you do some form of breath work. I do Vipassana meditations, but you can find a breath work that works for you. You don't need to follow my method. Mindfulness is doing whatever you can to stay focused in this present moment. When you're working, you give your heart to this work. When walking, give your heart to this walk. When you're commuting, trying to rest, sleeping, you don't let your mind get distracted. You focus on the present moment. You give it your all. That is mindfulness. That is one pointedness of the mind. That is mindfulness. And lowering your gaze, a practice I got from the Muslim. When you lower your gaze, when you do not linger, when you stumble upon a beautiful woman, you do not linger, look away and do not look back. If you do that, you can quit porn pretty easily. It's not necessarily a straight road. You'll have bumps and hurdles, but with consistency, perseverance, compassion, and patience towards yourself, you will let go of porn. When you let go of porn, your erections will come back stronger. And thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you very soon.